Hello, everybody. My name is Ali Jenkins. I am the HHPLC coordinator, project coordinator, and I work for Warm Wales. Some of you may have heard of us, some of you may not, but that's what today's for. I want you to know who we are, what we offer, and what support we offer across Wales. It's going to be a short, quick presentation over a few of the projects we have running now across Wales. And I'm just going to delve deeper into my project, which is the Healthy Homes, People, Lives and Communities project, which is currently based across all the counties of North Wales. But as I said before, we do have plenty of projects that cover the entirety of Wales that offer nearly exactly the same support and approach. So please don't be off-put by the fact that the project that I'll be mainly focusing on is based in North Wales. We have similar projects that cover the entirety of Wales and Southwest England, which we'll get to in a bit. So just a little bit about us as Warm Wales and who we are, what we're doing, our aims and objectives. So our aim to provide homes with affordable warmth. I know that sounds crazy at the moment, and everybody's really stressed and really worried and really concerned about the current crisis, cost of living crisis. But we want to make people known that we are here to support you, that we are here to give advice, to give some education, and to offer that blanket support for you guys. So we were established, so Warm Wales is established in 2004. We are a community interest company. What that basically means is that we're a non-profit. All of the money that we are given is invested in staff, in equipment, and anything that is left over at the end of a project is then put back into the communities that we are working in. So for a quick example of what we've done recently, so one of our projects came to an end in North Wales, which we were working with the Welsh Government. We had some money left over, which we were then invested in some third sector organisations in North Wales, one of them being Nanny Biscuit. I don't know if anyone's heard of them. They're a great charity in North Wales offering, they do like food pantries. So they do 10 items for £3, which is affordable food. They also do food packages and lots of networking and support in the North Wales area. Another area we worked with is a company called Love North Wales as well. As I said, this project that finished ran in North Wales. So as I said, we always invest the money back into the places where we've worked because that's where the money was meant for. Our main aim as Warm Wales is to tackle fuel poverty. And the way we do that is to look at how to make a house a home and how to all the issues that are in the home. Is your home cold? Is your home causing you any sort of illness? We look at these different questions and try and tackle them and help people through these difficulties. We cover, as I said before, Wales and the west of England. The reason we cover the west of England is because one of our projects is in collaboration with Wales and West Utilities. So wherever they are based, we also cover, which is quite handy, to be fair. We do gas connections. That is mainly in South Wales through our Eco4 management, which is Powys and Newport Talbot. The Welsh Government Energy Pilot, Advice Pilot has just finished. That's the one I just said about the investment of the money going back into the community. So that one has just finished. So our Healthy Homes, Healthy People. So Healthy Homes, Healthy People, this is the one that covers the entirety of Wales. So anybody who lives anywhere in Wales or Southwest England can access this support. This is looking at money maximisation, energy efficiency, energy support, energy debt support. And we've also just gone into collaboration and partnership with the Fuel Bank Foundation. I don't know if any of you have heard of the Fuel Bank Foundation. They offer emergency top-ups. So if you're on a prepayment meter and you've got nothing left and you're really, really struggling, the Fuel Bank Foundation actually offer emergency top-ups. And they've just been given a £4 million grant from the Welsh Government to offer this support through this winter And so this is open to anybody in Wales. As we are a partner with the Fuel Bank Foundation, you can come directly to us for that support, and that's anywhere in Wales. Unfortunately, South West England unfortunately will not get that support because the money is deemed just for the people of Wales. If you do live in England, or you know anybody in your family live in England, there is separate support over there. So, but at the moment we're focusing, that focus is just in Wales. So if you do need that support, please get in contact with us. Go onto our website. There's a link on our website to get the support. So please, if you are in that position, please come and see us. So the Healthy Homes, Healthy People, got Healthy Homes, Healthy People Plus. That is in North Wales. That's looking at a more holistic approach. So we don't only look at the energy side of things. We also look at the health and well-being of the person and trying to make that house a home. So we look at the holistic approach. So if somebody's struggling with mental health and they're struggling with other areas of their life, like excess debt, they will need that sorted first before they can concentrate on the energy side of things. So we look and we source different support to get that. So like as I said, the blanket support for the person. And the Healthy Homes, Healthy Homes People Plus is that project, and that covers all of North Wales. We do have two projects that are not actually on here at the moment. So we've just started a project with Shelter Cymru, which is based in, let me get this right, Denbighshire. So this is looking at preventing homelessness in the private sector. There's a lot of issues within the private sector of private rented homes. So we are working with Shelter Cymru, with Clwyd Allen, and with the local authority there to help prevent homelessness in Flintshire. So if you live in Flintshire and you are thinking that you're on the process of going into homelessness, please reach out. We have places and people that can help and support you. And also in Flintshire, we have a very similar project there, which is specific to Flintshire and is funded by Flintshire Council. So there's some great little neat projects that we've got going on to help these areas. Healthy Homes, People, Lives and Communities. Well, this is my project. This is the one I am the project coordinator for. This is recently started this year. It's a partnership project with Clwyd Allen Housing Association and with TGB Cymru. It is based in North Wales, but I'll go through what it is later on. So we are all about working in partnership here at One Wales. We're a bit of a strange organisation. We like working with other companies. We like bringing in all the different expertise from everywhere to ensure we can get, as I said numerous times already, you're going to be sick of me saying it, a blanket support. So making sure that we can give all the support that person needs to maximise their money, maximise their health, make sure that they can afford to heat their homes, or reduce their energy bills by having that education to know what to do, where to do it, how to do it, sort of things. There's lots of little hints and tips which I'll add to as I go through. One of the main tips I can give anybody at the moment is looking at insulating your home. Keeping the heat in your home is key. I know some people be saying, well, I live in an old home. It's very difficult to keep the heat in. Yes, it is. It is very difficult, but there is draft proofing you could do. Remember the old sausage dogs that your gran used to have at the bottom of the door that used to trip over all the time as a kid? They are very much in fashion now. So they are brilliant to keeping heat in. The main area that we're looking at now is that heat the rooms that you are mostly in. So if your front room is your main hub in your home, look to heat that room, making sure that heat is not escaping that room as well. So using thicker curtains, using the sausage dog, draft proofing your windows. If you've got single glazed windows, you can put like a thin film of plastic on that window just to try and give it that extra depth, and sort of it's like a fake double glazing. It works. People have can be crazy thinking, oh, that won't work. It does. It's the science works. It really does. It's like a little experiment that we had as kids. But yeah, so we are all about tackling fuel poverty and trying to, my project itself is trying to stop fuel poverty before it even starts. So we're looking at people who are moving into their homes for the first time and having their heating systems on for the first time. And yeah, so that's our main look at it. That's our main project aim. But because of the cost of living crisis, we've opened this project up to the whole community. So we were able to support a lot more people. And thankfully, Clwyd Allen has said that this is okay for us to do. So it's unreal. So to engage, educate, encourage, and empower, they're our main staple of all of our projects. To engage with people, to educate people so we can empower them to look after their own heating and make sure that they can phone the energy provider, know what to say, know how to read their gas, electricity bills and understand all the numbers on there. I know how daunting that can be from a personal side. It can be incredibly daunting. And I've always rallied that there should be like a simple version, a simple breakdown. So this is how much you've used, this is how much it costs, that's it. None of the maths, none of all the units, just to simplify it. And we are actually in conversation with Ofgem about finding different ways to help people understand their energy, their usage. So that's one of the things, as I said, about the education side of things that we want to sort of encourage. We do speak to the Welsh Government, we do speak to Ofgem ourselves to raise our concerns. So this is the education side of things. And it's a real push that we're doing at the moment, is the education side of things. We also try to encourage people. We don't want, it sounds crazy, this is going to be like the craziest statement you'll hear. I don't want to be doing this job. I don't want to be in this job for the rest of my life. I want you guys to be able and to be empowered to look after your own energy, to be not in fuel debt or fuel poverty, but to have that education and support networks that you already know about in your area to support you. So basically, my main aim is to get basically to put myself out of a job. But I'll happily do that if that means it's going to help and support people in the long run. Crazy statement, as I said. The Food Bank Foundation have said the exact same thing. They don't want to be in existence, but unfortunately, during this time and place, it's a necessity that a lot of people in this country and in the UK are having to use at the moment. As I said, we're very, very fortunate that they shouldn't be in place, but they are there to help and support people. Another area is to ensure everyone has access to safe, sound, secure, warm houses. The way we see things is that if you have a safe, sound, secure home, then it can help support with your mental health, it can help support with your physical health. Dreading to go home because you can't heat your home should not be a thing. And this is the thing that is a reality now, because the bills are so expensive and tomorrow are going up. But it's about using that education of knowing what, yes, Liz Truss has said there's a £2,500 cap. I've always said that's the worst thing she could have ever said. There's not cap. If you use more than £2,500 worth of gas and electricity, you will pay more than £2,500. So we, as consumers, need to look at our consumption, where we can reduce it, what we can do to, do we need 5 Alexas on the go? As I was speaking to a client the other day, they had an Alexa in every single room in their house. And I said, do you use all of them? And she said, oh, no, not really. We only use the one in the front room. I said, I'd think about selling the other 4 then. I speak to another lady. Her daughter had a fridge for her makeup. I've never even heard of that. Well, being a man, and I've never really worn makeup apart from fancy dress. I've never really known that you're meant to keep makeup in a fridge. But yeah, so it's about educating people. It's about looking at the stuff that do we really need this? Do we really need it on all the time? Do we really need that second freezer in the garage? Do we actually need the 5 Alexas? Do we actually need to leave the TV on standby? Do we need to have all the microwave and your blenders and your NutriBullets and all the stuff all switched on constantly? We don't. We need to be more frivolous. We need to be more green is probably the best way to say that. We need to look after ourselves. We need to look at our own consumptions. And one of the things that the energy providers will turn around to say to you is, that's down to you. All we're doing, we're setting how much it costs for you to pay for your gas and electricity. It's down to you to be energy efficient with it, which is correct. It is correct. But then the other side of the argument is their pricing is ridiculously high and going to pull a lot of people into fuel poverty and fuel debt. So yeah, just on that note, I'm going to go through a little bit of my project, which is the HHPLC, which is Healthy Homes, People, Lives and Communities. So it's a 2-year initiative with Warm Wales and Clwyd Allen, and it's to measure the impact of improvements on our residents' health and well-being. It's deliver in-depth support to 3,000 households in North Wales, specialised in supported living support. So looking at people moving from supported living or from homeless shelters or from caregiving settings into their first property, usually a 1-bedroom flat or a home, or depending on their circumstances, getting in there and giving them the education at ground source. So supporting them and understanding how their heating is used, if it's a storage heater, if it's air source heat pump, if it's a gas boiler, if it's the old school with a tank, how to use these systems correctly and how to utilize these correctly. That support is not just in this project. That support is available across Wales. I only talk about this project is because it's mine. I know it better than any other project, but this support is also available across Wales. So please don't be put off by the fact that this is just talking about North Wales. I'm just talking about the project in North Wales because it's mine. These provisions and this support is available across Wales. So please just jump on our website. All the information is there at warmwales.org.uk if you want to write that down. I'm also do energy savvy training, touch energy advice to frontline officers of Clwyd Allen to give them, as I say, about empowering people and giving them the education so they can then pass that information across to their residents and their people. We don't close cases. So if it takes a year to support you, it takes a year. If it takes 2 minutes, it takes 2 minutes. We will be with you right the way through. The projects in North Wales, we offer 3-way calls, we do home visits, and we do support. The Healthy Homes, Healthy People, they do mostly remotely. It's mostly over the phone, that support, but they still offer the same support down there. It's just we're a bit more mobile in North Wales. But we're actually improving and we're increasing every single day. We're actually after 2 new full-time employees. The closing date's today, actually, but if you fancy applying, and you live in North Wales, jump online. Come and work for me. I could use the help. We're very busy. So why are we doing this? There's a huge gap in energy support at the moment, and the energy education. That's the main thing that we were looking at. The education side of things is crazy. The amount of people that just don't understand, me included. So I started this job 8 months ago and I've gone through my energy advice and awareness training. And before that, I didn't realize how clueless I was and how much my eyes have been opened by the training that I've done via the NEA. And it was mind-boggling. So just looking at my bills now, I'm like, oh, you know what? I understand these a bit better. If you live in North Wales, and I think there's a course that we're trying to get run in South Wales as well, and Mid Wales. But in Colin Cambria, they're doing like an energy course, how to read your bills, how to do your meters, how to switch, and how to complain and stuff like that. It's like a whole holistic approach of energy. So if you're living anywhere near Colin Cambria, please look into that. They're really, we helped write the training and the support and the education side of things, and it is extremely good and really, really helpful for anybody and everybody. So, and I know a lot of you are through Learning Wales. There's something we can look at with them as well. So please get in contact, Sarah and Tamara, if you're listening. A little plug. But yeah, we're always looking to try and increase people's education into energy awareness. Tackling fuel poverty. So 31% of Wales's children are living in fuel poverty. That number's increased. That number's increased tenfold. I think we're around about 45 to 50% now, which is a horrible, horrible, horrible number. The young people living in cold homes are 7 times more likely to have mental health risks. The reason being is you don't think correctly when you're cold. When you're living in a cold home, when you're going back to a cold home, if you're constantly cold, it is a horrible, horrible place to be. And it's a place that you don't need to be. There's ways and means to heat your home which are effective. As I said before, it's about keeping that heat in your home, utilizing. You don't have to heat the entire house. Just you heat one room. Move your thermostat into that room. Make sure that that room's warm. Yes, the rest of your house needs to be on low. Don't switch them fully off. Leave it on low to stop mold growing and stop other issues in the home. But the main room you need to be looking at is your living room. Me and my wife, we would, so one of the main areas we would sort of be looking for is me and my wife. So we're very fortunate. We're very, very lucky. And I know how lucky I am to have a log burner in my property. This was done way, way, way before the cost of living crisis. My wife wanted to go on holiday. I bought a log burner. Let's just say there's a bit of an argument after that, but she's very thankful that I did that now. And for these things happen. I still owe her a holiday, but what we've decided, we've got a little boy. He's just about to turn 2 on Monday, actually, and we've decided that we've just got him out of our bedroom. He's going to come back in with us in the winter. It's warmer for the 3 of us in there. He's just about to turn 2. We can heat that bedroom to a decent degree to make sure he is warm. He's my priority, but so is my wife. So we've made that decision recently that that's what we're going to do. It's a bit of an extreme thing to do, but it's what we've decided. We're going to use a log burner to heat the bottom of the house. Some of that residual heat will rise up into the rest of the home, but that bedroom is going to be heated for him to make sure he's warm. Yes, we're just going to move the thermostat in there. It's just one of those. It's one of the things that I'm going to do, that we're going to do, and that'll be absolutely essential for a lot of people. So if you are struggling to heat your home, maybe think about utilizing that. I know you don't want all your kids in your bedroom with you, especially the older children. They all want their independence. They want their own space. One of the things to look at, the heated blankets, they're actually quite cheap to run instead of switching your heat on in each room. So if your child wants to play Xbox and they're cold, a heated blanket is actually a lot cheaper to run than an electric fan heater. Or keep away from electric fan heaters and stuff like that. They're extremely, extremely expensive to run and extremely, extremely, you don't see it until the bill hits you. And that's where the shock comes in. So yeah, heated blankets are a lot cheaper to run than an electric fire. Crazy, I know, but it's a good way to keep warm. I know one of my colleagues has adopted that herself. She's always sitting on the camera with her heated blanket on because she wants to reduce her fuel costs herself as well. We're coming from this. So as community workers in North Wales and from Warm Wales, we're coming from this from a very real place. We're struggling just as much as you guys are. So we're practicing what we preach. As I said to you before, I'm putting measures in place myself to make sure that I can afford my energy bills, because I'm one of the people who've been dragged in to this zone of fuel despair and cost of living crisis. I'm very thankful that I've had this training, so I understand what to do, how to say it, when to phone the supplier. One of the main things, if anything you can take from today, if you don't listen to anything I've said, the one thing I would want you to listen to right now is this. If you are struggling, phone your supplier. Phone them. Because if you don't, they don't know that you're struggling. They don't know, they don't understand your hardships. They can't see it. All you are to your supplier is a number on a sheet. So we need to be active. I know sometimes it can take hours and hours and hours to get through to the energy providers and energy advisors, but be diligent, go through. And the other thing I would say, and one of the biggest tips I would say, go in with kindness. If you go in attacking somebody, and if you go in with anger, people automatically close off. We do, as natural as who we are. The first thing we do is somebody comes out, ah! The first thing we do is we take a step back and we close off. We are then less likely to go out and full support somebody. If you come with somebody with love and kindness, I know it's difficult. I know in the back of your head, you just wanted to swear and shout and scream and just be thinking and cry because of the situation that you're in. It's about using these little hints and tips and these little tricks. You'll be more likely to get more support just being open and accountable and being very honest and raw. Sometimes it's very hard not to start swearing at people when you're in financial difficulty and you can see what is happening to your family. I do understand that, but it's about switching that off for that second just to be able to get where you want to get. And for example, as I said, I come for this from a very real place. I'm going through this as well as you guys. So I'm with Shell Energy. I got switched on with them about 6 months ago, I think it was. I was with Green. That got closed down. They switched me across, and they tried to up my direct debit from £155 a month, which I set it to. I did my maths. I did my own usage because it's my job. This is what I do every day. I'm an energy advisor, so I set my direct debit to 155. I knew that's how much I'd be using for the rest of the year. I even took in consideration the hike in October. I knew what measures I'd put in place. They tried to put my direct debit, well, they did. They put my direct debit up to £268 a month. I can't afford that. I can't. That's an incredible amount of money for me. I'm the breadwinner of the house. My wife works a couple of days a week, but I can't afford that. Not going to happen. So I phoned, I explained who I was, I explained the measures I'd put in my house, I explained the draft proof, and I explained about the log burner, utilising that. I explained that my son is a bit older this year. The estimate they're running off is from last year when he was a young little baby. Gas electricity was cheap. I had the heating on 24 hours a day to keep him warm. So having that discussion, and I said, can we just do the maths together? Please, can we just sit down and do the maths? So me and the advisor, we sat down, she did the maths. The number she got to, £155. So I was spot on. I knew I was spot on. But without having that communication and the conversation, we wouldn't have got there. So my direct debits have been put down back to £155, and they will stay there for a while because I'm utilising my training, which I've gained through my job, very, very thankfully, to do that. And hopefully I've just imparted a bit of wisdom onto you guys, and hopefully that will help you out. So just a bit more about this project, who we can help. So this is just Healthy Homes, People, Lives and Communities. This is not all of our projects. We cover every single age across. And if we can't support you, we know people who can. We're in partnership with Citizens Advice, who are just opening an energy advice support across Wales. So if we can't support you, they can. If you live in North Wales, we work very, very, very closely with Care and Repair, which is the elderly energy support. We also work with Woodies, which is the lodge in Conwy. They do energy support for veterans, for people out of the RAF or land, air and sea is their motto. So they offer any veterans any support with energy advice, support and education. So if we get any veterans through our doors to support that great charity, we refer straight into them to make sure that they keep going and keep getting the funding. As I said, we're a very strange organisation. We're all about helping others and helping ourselves at the same time. Very, I love the concept. It's the reason I came to work here. We also, Groundworks in Wrexham and Flintshire, they do a similar sort of thing. They don't go as much depth as we do. We do the three-way calls, we do the home visits and stuff like that. We do the energy advice. But there's still a great asset to have in Wales. In South Wales, we're working closely with the different councils and the housing associations, and hopefully got things in the background going on to hopefully that we'll announce in the next 12 months with that. But in healthy homes, people, lives, communities, these are the main areas that we're looking at here. So 16 to 24-year-olds who are just starting to live independently, to try and stem that flow into fuel debt. So if we can get the education in there early, and then we can empower them to be able to understand, if I leave everything on all night, every night, it's going to cost a lot of money. Yet again, the understanding needs to be there. So families with children aged 0 to 18, particularly those with new tenancies, as it says there, particularly, it's not exclusive to. We can support anybody in that group, really. Adults aged 25 to 69. The reason we stopped at 69 in North Wales is due to care and repair. We didn't want to take anything away from their project, and we didn't want to take any of their clientele that they were working with. So we'd refer into them to make sure that their business and their project works. As I said, we're a strange company. We want to try and help other companies as well. Even though they're in competition with us, we want to support them, because the more help we can get for everybody in this country, the better. Please ignore the winter warm packs. That's for Clwyd Allen residencies. If you're a Clwyd Allen resident, you can talk about the winter warm packs with them. We're in discussion with a few organisations in North Wales at present, Groundworks being one of them, about the upcoming winter and whether we're going to be able to offer winter warm packs, which usually have blankets, they have gloves, they have bits and pieces in there. I think last year, one of the options was actually a slow cooker, which is incredible. That's another great tip, actually. As I said, as I go through, I'll just chuck in a few tips and tricks. Utilising different ways of cooking. Your microwave is a lot cheaper to run than your hob or your oven. You can cook an incredible amount of things in a microwave. I cooked bacon in a microwave for the first time the other day. It blew my mind. I usually like it fried because, well, look at me. I am a beast of a man. But I tried it once in the microwave. It's incredible amount of stuff you can cook in a microwave. Slow cooker, yes, it's on all day. Yes, but it's using a little bit of electricity to keep the heat going. So it's crazy. It's about 40% cheaper than your oven. The next one, I think everyone's know what I'm going to say next, your air fryer. These things are hard to get hold of. It's like gold dust at the moment. The reason being is they're about 70% cheaper than your oven to use, and they make incredible food. Mine's just broken, actually. Perfect timing. I've had it for the last 2.5 years. And now that I'm using it a lot more, it's I think I should have upgraded it, but it still works kind of. I had the Tefal with a paddle that goes around and makes lovely chips. The paddle has just broken, so it doesn't make chips anymore. Not as nice anyway. I'm not sponsored by Tefal. Can I just point that out? But yeah, utilising different ways of cooking. The slow cooker will save you a lot of money. The air fryer will. Using your microwave, utilising your kettle a little less. If you have gas oven, it's something you need to sort of check yourself, do a bit of a price comparison. Gas is a lot cheaper than electricity. So it's just about weighing up which is cheaper. So if you do have a gas oven, it's about personal preference and personal looking at how you're going through that. But yeah, if you have gas, I mean, it's sort of a personal preference, how much you use it. If you're a baker, it's going to be a very expensive couple of months for you if you're going to keep him baking. But you know, there's bread makers. You can, I think some of the air fryers now, you can actually prove dough in the air fryers, and you can actually cook the bread in there, and it's actually really quite nice. I think I had some sourdough. One of my colleagues made one the other day, and it was really nice. It's surprising, and it took less time because it's just such a small area. So just something to think about is to look at investing. Also, if anything breaks in your home, so if you need to buy a new fridge, freezer, washing machine, television, look at the energy rating. If the energy rating is low, yes, it'll be cheaper. That's just natural. The issue you'll have, the long-term cost of it will be a lot higher. I know the AAA or the A graded or B graded ones are a bit more expensive, but the long-term cost effectiveness of that piece of equipment will be a lot better. So if you can afford it, and as I said, it's a difficult time for everybody, but if you can afford it, please look to invest in an A, B, or C graded machine. If you start looking at EFGs, then it's going to be really a lot more expensive to run and to maintain. Maintaining your equipment, make sure your kettle's clean, making sure your microwave's clean, make sure anything you're using on a daily basis is clean. It helps with the effectiveness of it, how it works. So yeah, that's who we are. We are Warm Wales. I've just realised I've been chatting for about 50 minutes. So we've got about another 10 minutes now to take some conversations and take some questions from you, if that is okay. So please ask me anything. I will endeavour to answer. I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to go through to one of the screens here to put up our. Oh, there it is. That one there. Oh, back one. There we go. So please feel free to ask me any questions. I've got it in the question box or the Q&A box. So please just shout out and ask me anything you want. I will try and endeavour to ask. I hope everyone enjoyed this today. If you do need support, please reach out to us. We will happily help and support you. Go to our website, which is at the bottom there, warmwales.org.uk. And you can actually go to the referral form through there. So any questions for anybody? Oh, thank you, Jenny.
We've got a hand up from Kim Russell. I'll just enable the microphone, Aled.
Go for it, Kim. I think you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I have unmuted. Just to let you know, you can buy new paddles for your thing online. You know, the hated delivery company that because we thought we had to have one ourselves. But do you help people who are like yourself, really, in the bit where they don't earn enough to get benefits, they don't earn enough to get any help from the government, but you know, they are worrying about keeping their homes warm and keeping their children warm?
We do.
They're in their own personal homes as well. They're in their own homes, not you know, in rented accommodation.
Yeah. So the Healthy Homes, Healthy People project, which covers the entirety of Wales, also supports homeowners and home occupiers, as they say. So yes, we do support, and that's fuel debt support, money maximisation. A lot of people, there's millions of pounds out there that people, as you said, who are not on benefits, but there is benefits out there that they are in. So we do sort of with the money maximisation sort of side of things, we actually work with Citizens Advice to go through all the different questions with people to find out if there's any benefits they are entitled to, because there is millions and millions of pounds out there that people are not claiming, which is crazy to come to think about it, Kim. But yes, we do. We offer advice, support, education, same sort of stuff. And if people are on prepayment meters, same again, they are open to have support with the emergency top-ups through them. So it's, we do. it's not as inclusive, but with the Eco 4, so the Eco 4 is the new government initiative for housing. So if you live in a, let me get this right, a EPC rated E, F or G, D, no, D, E, F or G home, and you maybe qualify for Eco 4. So with that Eco 4, it can entitle you maybe to help towards a new boiler, insulation, external, internal wall insulation, roof cavity wall insulation, and even maybe solar panels. But that's if your home's a lower EPC rating. So there is support out there for homeowners. It's just not as much, unfortunately. That's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. But we are working with the Welsh Government. We are speaking to the Welsh Government about this. And it's one of the concerns we've raised numerous times, that the support is not there for the low income homes, the single parent households. So yeah, it's one of the things we are discussing with the Welsh Government. I hope that answers your question, Kim.
It did, thank you. And your chat's disabled. I don't know if you know that, and if people put questions in there if they're not sure.
Oh, sorry. I think I've got it's in the Q&A. I think there's a few things coming up through the Q&A. Thanks, Kim. I've got another hand up from Anne Evans. I think you were next, Anne.
What's the ideal temperature to have your water and your heating on the boiler?
I've had this question a few times. That's why I was smiling, Anne. 60 degrees is a good one. I would not recommend going any lower. I've heard a lot of people going lower than 60, but then you're coming into Legionella area and to other bacteria. So sorry.
Yep. No, that's fine. I missed a little bit then. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So 60. I'd keep it at 60, Anne.
Yeah. Could I also just pass a comment on something that I've done? I left my heating on for an hour and central heating, and it cost me £1. And I plugged in an old oil-filled radiator that warmed the room, and that only cost me 30p.
See, that's the other side of it. I forgot about the oil filled. So the oil filled is actually it's cheaper than your the other plug-in heating apparatus. Yep. So the oil filled is actually a lot cheaper. So if you were, I forgot to mention, thanks, Anne. Yeah. Good reminder. No, but if you were to utilize a plug-in heater, the oil filled is probably the best way to go. But yeah, you're right there, Anne. Thank you very much.
I was doing an experiment. 1 hour on the central heating, another night an hour on the oil filled, and the next night with a gas fire, just to see the most economical way to heat a room for us.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah,
that's awesome. I like people like you, Anne. You keep going. You keep doing your experiments, and you keep telling the world.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I've got a Gillian. Is it Gillian? Sorry, Gillian. Gillian. Sorry. If you'd like to unmute, you can ask your question. You still there, Gillian? Oh, hello. There you go.
Yeah. On from the question of Anne, who is a friend of mine, you didn't actually mention the temperature for the radiators. What would you recommend an average temperature for the house? With I got a hive, so right. Last year I tried to keep it under 20. Is my children have it over 20 and they say it's not warm enough, so I don't know.
So the recommended heat for your main home, for your main room, where you spend most of your time, is 21 degrees. So that's what the recommended heat is. But that's all personal preference. Not everybody likes being 21 degrees. Some people like hotter, some people like colder. Ideally, what we're saying to people is to turn it down a degree or two. So instead of being 21, look around about 20 to 19, between 19 and 20 for your main room of your home, where you're spending most of your time, and then utilizing blankets, knitted jumpers.
Got it on, cardigans on today. And what
There you
you
go.
mentioned, heated blanket, is that inclusive of electric blankets on the bed? Are those
Yes.
expensive?
No, well,
Are those comparable to the heated blankets that you said your colleague had over her shoulders?
no, that's what she's using. It's the one that you put on your bed. So yeah, that's the same thing. Exactly the
Oh.
same thing. So it's a heated blanket. Yeah. So she just puts that over her shoulders. It's a lot cheaper than utilizing putting the heating on. And so she's just keeping herself warm. The only issue with that is that the room. So when she takes that off, she's still in a cold room. So what we're trying to say to people, yes, if you're struggling to, if you're working in a different room, if you're working in a little office, instead of getting, well, apart from the oil heater, cheers, Anne, is to utilize like a little heated blanket to heat you up whilst you're working. So yeah, there you go, Gillian. I hope that's okay.
One other question. My
Go.
hot water seems to be very hot at the moment since I had my service done by British Gas. Is there any way that I can reduce the heating? I'm not very clever on these things. The
Yes.
water is too hot. I have to add cold to it. So that's
Yes, so
defeating the object, isn't it?
it is, yeah. So on your boiler, you should have, if depending on how old your boiler is, I'd have to see it. Some of them have a little, like a dial or a little, what's it called, a little LED screen. So you can actually go into the options and turn the heat, the heat of the water. So the water that comes out, it should have a little tap next to it. You can turn that down. Round about
60 to 60, you
60s.
said.
Yeah, 60. Yeah, 60, 65 is okay. It's fine. You can still wash your dishes with it.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's ridiculous mixing.
Yeah.
Before we took it for granted, but we're
Yeah.
trying to be more economical now. Okay, thank you very much. Now I've got to get rid of this hand. Hold on.
Oh, no worries. Good luck. It's not. Don't worry. Just leave it there, Gillian. It's perfect. I know who's left. I think it's Sian who's next. Who's got her hand up here.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Have a lovely day. Thank you for listening
Thank
to
you.
me.
Hi, Aled.
Hiya, you okay, Sian?
Yes, picking up on what Gillian just said then, the fleecy blankets are slightly different than the electric blankets you put on the bed, because electric blankets can go under the under the fitted sheet. You can also buy a fleecy oversized hoodie with a USB port that you can put on and wear around if you want.
Yes,
But
the hoodie.
Yeah, but my tip is every time, well, not every time, when I make a cup of tea, I fill my hot water bottle up and stick it on my lap.
Oh, nice. Oh,
The
nice.
old-fashioned hot water bottles, which work really well. And can I remind everyone as well, can they put their meter readings in today because the price increased tomorrow?
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's the main one. If you're on a smart meter, I think a lot of the companies, I've had a text message just, it's really quite funny, about 2 seconds ago from Shell saying that you don't need to update it. If you're on a smart meter, it automatically.
Yeah.
I would still personally, just in case, put it in. I'm going to be putting mine in. Even though I'm on smart meter, it's just to make sure that your final day. And another quick tip, if you are on prepayment meters, the devil, I hate them. I wish they didn't exist, but unfortunately they do. If you are thinking about going on to prepayment, do not go on to prepayment. The reason being, and the main reason being, if you run out of credit on prepayment, your gas electricity stops. If you go into debt with a credit account, you don't get switched off. You can work out a payment plan. You can, so that's the difference. So if you're thinking about going on prepayment, please don't. It's the worst thing you'll ever do.
Don't you pay more though for your gas and electric because you have to rent the meter as well? So really, it's false economy to go on them.
Well, we in Wales actually pay more for our gas and electricity anyway than anywhere else in the UK, which is a little known fact that not many people know about. So our standing charge in the UK, so it's the only thing that's different, that's not capped, is the standing charge. So it's the daily amount that we pay is higher in Wales than anywhere else. So let's say in London, it's currently around about 58 pence per day for dual fuel for gas electricity. In Wales, so in North Wales, it's 74 pence per day, and in South Wales, it's 73 pence per day. Yeah, so that's just another little known fact for you, and another reason to get mad. But yeah, so Anne, yeah, that's some great tips there. Thank you so much. And the thing is, I think there's some great Facebook groups, and there's some great groups that you guys could speak to between each other. And I encourage it. I encourage people to speak about what's working for them and how they're reducing their costs. It can be a bit of a rabbit hole. There's like one of the Facebook groups I follow is the Energy Advice Support Group UK. It's good. It's a good group, but it can get a bit much. I've had to mute it a few times because I do this all day, every day. So sometimes I just need to rest my brain a little bit. But please, if there's one last thing I would actually do say is please visit our website, warmwales.org.uk. Tamara's just said she's going to put our website details onto the internet for the staff for further information. Please get in contact. We're here to help and support the people of Wales. That's our job. That's who we are. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it today, and thank you so much for listening. Unless there's any more questions, I've got another minute or two. Go on, Gillian. Oh, she's gone. No. Oh, Jenny, go on, Jenny. Go on, is he after the question, Jenny?
Sorry, I didn't read the screen. Just one comment. I wonder how many times you use the word education.
Oh, it's huge.
Absolutely.
Huge.
So important.
Education's our main drive at the moment. Educating people to, well, firstly, how to reduce their energy bills, how to be more economical around their home, educate people how to read their energy bills, how to manage their energy bills. It's huge, Jenny, massive. And there's a real gap in the market at the moment for energy education. And we're trying to sort of fill that at the moment. But yeah. Is there any other question, Jenny?
No.
Okay, thank you. Well, I think that is it. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to me. This is my first webinar. I found it, hey, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And I just thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you all have a lovely day. Please, I keep stressing, if there's any issues, any support you need, please shout out and please get in contact with ourselves. Or if you know any other local support networks that offer energy advice, please just reach out. All I'll say is get the support if you need it. Don't be shy. Don't suffer in silence. Reach out. There's people there to support you. And thank you very much. Ta-ra now.